Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Mutema, a Nairobi based photographer. So, guys, in today's tutorial, I'll show you how I do full edit in Photoshop. And I don't like doing frequency separation alone, dodge and burn alone, because I'm not so much consistent. So, I like doing a full edit from, like you can see this photo I just uploaded in Lightroom, and I want to do like a full edit in Photoshop and see how it comes out. And yeah, you can see I haven't done anything in these photos, but they still look good. I took them direct from my, you can see I just uploaded them in my Lightroom. I just want to see how they look and how they'll come out. And yeah, so yeah, let's edit together and see how our photo. So I'll try to edit this one, she looking direct to the camera. So you can see I've created so many presets over here, and I'll go through and see which presets works best for my photo and make sure I'll use that one to just make my photo look good. So you can see this one looks very normal, and I think I like it so much. So the thing, I'll just correct the background, the greens. This one is has so much temperature. So you can see also this one looks very nice. So no much shadows. The greens, I can just reduce the greens, but this looks so nice. I can actually work with this and just correct this and see how I can work with this and reduce the temperature and stuff. So what I'll do, I'll reduce the shadows, make sure that the shadows are the best level. The next thing I'll do, I'll make sure the highlights and reduce the exposure. So I'll have to correct this a little bit. I think that looks nice. So let's work on the background, the greens. I think they are so shouting. So what I'll do, let's reduce the greens. They are very shouting. Yeah, and then also the yellows. The yellows look very normal. And the blues, let's see how the blues looks. Let's reduce them to the normal area, and let's see the before and after of this photo. Just go to window, go to view, and before and after. Let's before and after, then top and bottom, and see. You can see there is a very big difference in this photo, and we have done so much. Let's show the before. Yeah, see, you can see so much difference. Yeah, we have done a lot in this photo. So the next thing I'll do, just press Y in your keyboard and make sure. So the next thing I'll do, I'll reduce the temperature because the photo has so much temperature. Yeah, if you want these presets, guys, I always sell them, I always give them out, I always do things to them. So if you want them, just let me know, and I'll give you a preset, or I'll let you have a preset. So you can see I reduced the vibrance a little bit. Yeah, our photo to look very normal. Then go up to the temperature, then increase the temperature a little bit, because I think the temperature was so high. So yeah, so work with this. Let's see, reduce this a little bit to somewhere like, because I don't want the photo to look like so already edited, because I want to color grade it in Photoshop and give it a good color in Photoshop, but I still want to have that temperature and tint to make it look so nice. So I think this already looks nice for me. So yeah, now I think I'll work with this to do I'll do some frequency separation and dodge and burn and everything, this to make it look awesome. So what I'll do next, I'll just right click here and send it to Photoshop. Yeah, I think our photo is already here. So we are in Photoshop right now. So I'll just remove this one. I was trying to edit right now before I started touching this one. So the first thing I'll do, I'll crop this to the Instagram size. So the Instagram size is 4:5 or 8:10, but I want my photo to fit and have that good add room. So what I'll do, I'll just pull this up a little bit, and you can see the problem is now it leaves these black sides on the sides of the photo. So I have a secret of removing this black side. I can remove like the way you remove objects in your photo, or you can use the marquee, the rectangular marquee tool to push and extend your photo. So what I'll do, I'll select the patch tool. I'll select this block, the black block in your photo. Make sure you select it very well. Select that block like that. Then go to fill, go to edit, fill, then select content aware. Make sure the mode is normal and the opacity is at 100. Then say okay. The photo will copy from somewhere here and paste it somewhere there, but you can see it has pasted, but it has some parts from the photo which has pasted because it tried to copy from that area. So what you do the same, select this copied part like that, then go to fill, then content aware, it will fill automatically. Then select another part, you can see the denim is on that area of the photo, then fill, then like that, and your photo already looks awesome. You can see it has copied something from, it's like it has extended, but you can see there's some, just remove this. If it can just copy this bokeh here and paste here, this will actually look even better. And yeah, that's what you'll do like that. So the next thing I'll do, I'll come to this other side of the photo and do the same. You can see I really hope it extends the house and the bokeh in the background and even make the photo look even more better. Yeah, so feel content aware, and I really hope it works. Yes, and like that, that's just what I was saying. You can see it has copied and extended this door and extended the bokeh in the background and everything. So the next thing I'll do, I'll try to see the imperfections of the skin and see if I can just remove the small blemishes in our skin and make sure the photo is actually awesome and ready for frequency separations. Just leave your done there. Do again. Okay, yeah, so I think she has a very nice skin, and it makes the photo look, I think our skin tone is actually okay and ready for some frequency separation. So I'll use, sorry about that guys, just zoom this inside. So zoom, I can see I've just over zoomed the photo. Remove this, and remove this, remove that. Okay, zoom back. Okay, so the next thing I'll do frequency separation. I'll use my dust and scratch method, or I use the curves at the normal Gaussian blur method. So what I'll do, I'll duplicate the layers twice. Let's name this low frequency, name this high frequency, right? So what I'll do, I'll disable the high frequency layer, then go to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur. Hope you guys are following along. I actually tend to go very fast, and make sure the video doesn't take so much time, but pay attention. So I'm using the Gaussian blur method today. So I look at placing the skin of the model, and if you can see, these are medium portrait, so you don't have to use the same values as you use for your headshots. You can use this value as low as possible for this photo and make sure it doesn't, I think 4 is okay for me. Then say okay, then go to image, apply image, then select the low frequency layer, then subtract. But because my photo is a 16-bit image, I'll use the add method, then give this a scale of 2, offset of 2, offset of 0, then invert, then say okay, then change this blending mode to linear light, and we're good to go. Then select the new adjustment layer, then add a black and white layer there, and we good. So what I'll do, I'll group this in a group, then select the topmost, the height, and then just group. You can see there's nothing that much has happened in the photo, but now let's go to retouching of the photo. Most people, not most people, some people use the lasso tool method, like you draw like maybe on the forehead. It actually works very nicely, but I prefer using the brushing tool because it's actually kind of fun to do. So blur, blur. So if you remember the value, use then multiply by 3 times, so give it 15, and you have a very smooth skin. You can see that actually works very nice, and you can use that or use the mixer brush tool, and that's what I'm going to use today. So I select my mixer brush tool, make sure the shadows and the highlights pop more, so you reduce the blacks, the reds in the black and white channel. So the next thing I'll do, I'll start by brushing the shadows. I really hope this works, guys. Let's brush these shadows over here, brush the shadows, brush the shadow over this side of the skin. Yeah, brush this shadow over here. So hope you guys follow along and brush the shadows, and yeah, you learn something. I'm learning too. I'm just practicing as I make this tutorial. I'm just practicing, so I don't have to be so perfect. So yeah, if you have any corrections or anything you want to learn, or you update me on what I can do next, and keep on learning, right? Yeah. So let's just work on this. Don't on the nose area, make sure you don't brush so much. I think that make sure you don't mess up the highlights and everything in the photo. You can see the highlights, the shadows. Continue as you brush, make sure you always disable the black and white layer and see what you're doing. The reason why our photo looks like it's already color graded is because we color corrected in Lightroom. Just undo a little bit on the forehead. I think I've really overdone on the forehead, and I just want to undo a little bit. Zoom in. Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll just brush the forehead a little bit like that, and then the mid-tone, I just brush them like that. Then I think I'll balance them in dodge and burning. Yeah, I think this is actually working. Just brush this over here. So I always tend to brush the whole photo first before I now start perfecting everything and everything. Zoom back our image like that. You can see this is not a headshot, guys. So most people confuse close-ups with like long portraits with headshots and close-ups, and now they end up not knowing how to retouch close-ups and to retouch long portraits. So yeah, so this is just how I do my full edit. Just going through it. So just print on the neck like this. So guys, nobody is perfect. Don't expect me to be so perfect in this. I'm just practicing, and yeah, you learn the process, and you perfect as you practice, and make sure you practice on a daily basis, and trust me, you'll be a very good photographer as time goes by. Yeah, and those who think they don't understand, please don't watch my tutorials. You can watch someone else. yeah, I just make them for people who want to watch and who are willing to learn from me. So you can, I didn't use the dust and scratch method, so I decided to use the normal way of doing frequency, that's the Gaussian blur method. So let's just work on this highlight first. And I'm a big fan of leg highlights. I just like making them pop and pop even more. I think I like retouching legs more than I like retouching the face. That's just me. Yes, our legs are very well retouched, very fast. Now we'll perfect that later. Just go through it. Just the black and white is so much over here. Just that. Make sure we balance this highlight and the shadows for here. Let's zoom back and see what we did. Yes, we did some amazing job over there. So during dodge and burn, I think I'll have to add some lighting on the legs and yeah, make sure to perfect the photo. But I think our photo is really looking very nice and perfect, and that's how to easily do frequency separation for long portraits, right? So the next thing I'll do, let's just balance this. So I'll work on these fingers like this. Just brush. Okay. brush this, brush that. Okay, the next thing, go to pick your lasso tool and draw a simple selection on the forehead like that, right? Hope you guys are following along. Then go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I give it something like 15 because that's the value we use, the value of 4 plus 2 times 3 plus 3. Yeah, like perfect. Chubby faces, huh? Chubby faces are the hardest to retouch, like that. And like that. It's a very it's a very long process, but it really works very well. I'll give so much on the neck, so just filter, blur, Gaussian blur, reduce it to somewhere like 13. That's okay. This area like this, we have the nose, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, reduce this to 10, 12. It's okay. Blur, Gaussian blur. Perfect. Yeah, we're good. Zoom this back. You can see our photo is now looking very uniform. So let's work on the legs before we do some dodge and burn and increase the light down here. From here, going from somewhere here down, going here, you can have to brush a little bit with the dodge and burn brush to make sure the lighting looks awesome. And yep, hope this works. Practicing makes perfect, right? So continue practicing and make sure you be the best photographers in the world, right? Yeah, so let's, yeah, to boom, there you go. So the next thing I'll do the dodge and burn, and this is how I'll create my dodge and burn layers. So I'll put this all in a group, show before and after, after. Let me zoom this in to show you the before and after. show you the before, after. You can see we have really balanced the skin of the model. So the next thing I'll do, I'll curves, adjustment layer, and then you call this dodge. And let's first paint some of it down to the downside of the model's face at the floor of something like 5. Crease text and just pin down here to balance with the face lighting, because light down here wasn't so good. So something like that. I think this works. Yeah, I think we have a very well now balanced light. Just reduce the opacity a bit, something like that, and that's okay. So, and then smudge all these layers together, or just put this down here in that group. Then go to my actions, give it a button mode, fix this somewhere here. Okay, so I'll run my frequency separation action like that. Then I'll start by dodge, and I'll start by I just ran my dodge and burn action, and then I'll start by dodge. So reduce the flow and see the past something like 22. No. Make sure the foreground color is white, and then enhance this highlight on the nose like this. These highlights on the eyes like this. Yeah, like that. Once the shadows on the nose like this. Yeah, like that. If you guys are checking this out, how we doing this, like that. Yeah. So we have to shape the nose like to make sure it really looks so nice. Yeah, like that. Increase the reds a little bit to see where the highlights in here. So let's now work on this highlight over here and make sure it even pops even more. And you can see the small blemishes. What I'll do, I'll just remove those after I've done all these processes. And you'll never be perfect, but you'll achieve attractive photos if you practice this more often and more often. So tip to photographers, please guys, don't listen to your fellow photographers, because it's very hard for like don't request corrections from fellow photographers. If you want to get perfect corrections, and do research from your clients or the people, normal people, on what kind of photography they want or what, and that way they can help you in knowing where to improve in your photography and where to not improve in your photography, and where to change, and how you're doing as a photographer, right? Because most people will just, most other photographers just try to bring you down and show you that you're not doing much. So get critics from the right people, right? Yeah, critics are very okay, but normally not all photographers will give you critics. Some will give you critics from the jealousy side of view. So yeah, so you can see I'm doing dodge and burn in this photo and trying to make it look even more balanced, right? Let's zoom this back a little bit. So what I'll do, I'll dodge on the stomach a little bit, and then let's keep this dodge very, yeah, make this dodge more pronounced. Yeah. Hey man, narrating is hard though, narrating is hard. Okay. You can see our photo, like after I've done frequency separation and that dodge and burn yet, and our photo is already looking very, very nice. Yeah, that's according to me. I mean, if you ask me, I think my photo is looking okay. And let me remove this a little bit. Just fit this. Fit that. So if we disable the dodge and burn layer, you can see. Let's disable the both layers. The dodge and burn of it. You can see this is how our photo looks from Lightroom after we done color correction. And now after we do frequency separation, this is how our photo looks. And after we do dodge and burn, this is how our photo looks. You can see there's so much difference from where we started with our photo. And yeah, let's continue. Let's continue and make it even look even better and better. So I can see, I think I can see the highlights over here. Just remove. I think this highlight is more pronounced. Just remove it a little bit like that, and boom, that works perfect. Okay, so the next thing I'll do color grading to balance the skin tone in this photo. So this is how I do. I go to I select my I go to work window extension and then select my beauty retouch or the retouching academy. So many photographers have this in their computers, and this is something I just learned the other day. If you look down here, there's the glowing skin, then the magical skin tone. So what I do first, I work with the glowing skin to make sure the photo glows more on the highlights. Then I do a magical skin tone to balance skin tone on my photo. Then I color correct. Then I finish with color grading and sharpening. So this is what I do. I click on the glow and the action will run automatically. And then I'll pick my brush tool. Maybe I increase the flow at 100 and the flow at 100 or opacity at 100. Let's try to paint on our model's face, also on the highlights, and see if it pronounces the highlights even more and more and more. Yeah, I think it's really working, and if maybe it's too much, you can actually reduce the opacity. So I just downloaded this action the other day, and actually it really helps me, and it really makes my work easier. So what I'll do, I'll just reduce the opacity of this and my photo will look awesome. The next thing I'll do, I'll just run my magical skin tone, and just you select on the magical skin tone and run the action. So after running that action, just pull this up here. Then you can see it's already inverted. So to invert back, just Control I to invert back. You can see it fills your image, but there's some parts of the image where you don't want the colors to be. So just go select your mask, make sure the foreground color is white, select your brush tool, foreground color is black, then just start painting. You're removing the colors from the parts of the photo where you don't want those skin tones to be. Also on the greens, on the grass, like this. Yeah, like that. This is something that will help you to color grade very, very fast, and thanks to the Retouching Academy team for making this action, man. It's really a very, very nice action, and really makes work easier. So show you, just remove it from somewhere here. You can see, like, I'm trying to remove it from the clothes, but I make sure it's on the skin tone. This helps you balance the skin tone of the model, and if there were imperfections, really clears them out, right? Not like that. This is something I learned the other day, and trust me, it's really making my work easier and really helping me get even more well color graded images. And I'll also show you another tip how to create the melanin skin tone in the model's skin, and to make sure the image even looks even more and more better. So let me show you the before and after, and if you pay so much attention, you can see there's so much difference. And if you've been following my photos since I started frequency separation and dodge and burn and everything, let's just remove on the eyes, but I'll do eye whitening later. So if I can maybe show you the before and after, you can see there's so much difference on how I did that. I used that magical skin tone. So the next thing I'll do, I'll remove some parts where the still the skin tone is on the outfits and maybe on the background. I don't want it on the background and on the model's outfits, right? If you can see, let me just put all this in a group and see where we started. Just put all this in a group, then show before, after, before, after, before. Okay, sorry, before. This is how our photo looked from Lightroom. And if you can go back to Lightroom, show you the before completely. This is how my photo looked in the camera. And then from this to this, it's a very, very good process, and it really works for me. And this is just how I do my full edit in Photoshop. So the next thing I'll do, I'll create a layer of all that. So Control Alt Shift and E to create a clean layer of all that you have done. So what I'll do, I'll duplicate the layer again once more. Duplicate the layer once more, then go to create a black and white layer. After you create a black, I want to give it a melanin, a very little melanin look, and just make the photo look even more. So you can see our photo is in black and white. So what if you just multiply the black and white, the skin tones in the black and white, until you get a very close skin tone that's like looks black but still has a skin tone. We call that melanin look. So, and to do that, you use the blending mode of multiply, and you can see our photo has a very harsh melanin, and the opacity, like the photo looks very, very dark, but actually looking very, very sharp and very, very okay. And some models can take this, or you reduce the opacity. What if we just reduce the opacity of this black and white layer just a little bit? Just reduce the opacity. This opacity to somewhere like, let's give it somewhere like there, right? That 7 is okay. You can see before, after, before, after. So what I'll do, I'll remove the melanin on the background, because I don't want the melanin on the background. I just wanted the skin tone on the model. So pick my brush tools, select the foreground color to be black, and then just paint on the background. We don't want that melanin on the background, just paint on the background like that. We just want the melanin on our model's skin. Yeah. Moved on this background, moved it on the outfits, move it on the hair, move it on the eyes. Like, photography is art. You be very creative, and at the end of the day, you end up getting some awesome looking photos and amazing photos. Show you before, after, before, after, and it actually balanced the skin tone of the model to be like that cool, to have that cool vibe. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll now, let's reduce the opacity and make it even more pop. So what I'll do, I'll just merge all these together, or let's just create a new layer on top of that and create, duplicate it again, then go to filter, camera raw, and now here we'll just give it a bluish look, and now whiten the eyes. Let's just zoom in, go to select the temperature, and then just pinch. And you can see I've put the mask on so that I can see where to add and where to remove. Sorry, I'm using with the mask because I want to know where to add, where to remove. No, you can see actually the leaves. See, so just, if you want to remove, just now select. You can see with the layer mask it's very easy to remove. Yeah, hope I'm helping someone out here. And yeah, as I've said, and I've said this the whole of this tutorial, I'm not perfect, so don't expect something perfect from me. So just say okay. So the reason why I created a layer, because you can see it's so much and it's so much shouting, so I'll do it, just remove the opacity a bit, you know, just like that. So then I'll go to brightness and contrast, select legacy, then push this somewhere like this, right? Yeah, and I think my photo looks a little bit red, so I'll do to hue and saturation and reduce the opacity, reduce the saturation, something like that. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Then I'll just go to selective color, then I just select layer yellows in my photo. So you can either add the yellows or reduce the yellows. Let's see what I want. I just want to achieve something cool with this photo. And yeah, this is just how I do my full photo editing in Photoshop, and just make photos look more good, classic, and just popping. Like, I just like popping photos. And now let's see, I think that's working. Let's see what we can do to the selective color again. And you can see the greens. We select the greens, then let's see what we can do with the background. So what do you guys want? We can work with this. We can work with this and make sure our photo stands out. Or we can work with this and still also make sure our photo even stands out more, and then duplicate this again and see what it will definitely create. Then let's try to work on the whites on the background, the highlights in the background. So let's see these whites. So what I'll do, I'll select whites in photo, then just push this towards this area like that, somewhere like that, and just somewhere like this, somewhere like that. Boom. Yes, that looks okay. As a photo is really standing out, like looking okay. Yeah, hope you guys have followed me up the all of this tutorial and how I did this tutorial and how I managed this photo to look like this. I'll disable all this and show you everything that I've done on this photo. So just put all this together in a group, select the topmost, then select this group over here, match all those, and Control G. Let me show you the before and after. Hope you guys are ready. Before and after, and yeah, that's the before. That's before we did anything in this photo, and that's the after. I've done a lot in the photo. Before, after, before, after, before, after, before, after, before, and after. Hope you guys have really followed along through this tutorial. So the next thing I'll do, I'll just sharpen the photo, make the skin glow even more, and save my photo. And my tutorial will be up on YouTube by tomorrow morning. Let's just put this up here. Just push this up a little bit somewhere there, then right click on the layer like that, then push this button towards this area like that, somewhere like that, then I'll press Alt in your keyboard to split this button, then push this somewhere like there, and now that looks even far much better. And I like the melanin tone on the model, and yeah, I think this looks so nice. It's just the opacity of this. So the next thing I'll do, I'll sharpen this photo, and this I'll do, I'll just merge all this together, merge everything together. Yeah, so after merging everything together like this, so this is what I'll do. Let me just try to make sure that the hair pops more. So let me just select the yellows in the photo, just yellows, just extend the yellows more. How should I extend this? This way, 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 yeah, this way, and this way. So yeah, then invert the black layer, then paint on the hair like that, and make sure the hair pops even more, and our model will look awesome with that popping hair. This guy yellows on the background, yeah, like that. So just be creative, just be creative with your edits, be creative with your photos, yeah, like this, and just create some awesome magical photos like everyone will be like, oh, how do you make that photo? Yeah, oof. Yeah, I think this actually looks very nice. I like the background, I like everything in this photo. So the next thing I'll do is just sharpen, so match the yellows and merge these together, merge like boom, yeah, merge. So what I'll do, I'll run my dodge and burn, I'll run my frequency separation action. So actions, where's the action? So that's dodging back. Run the dodging back action. So I run the frequency separation action like that. Okay, so I'll give it something like 4. Okay, then say okay. Then what I'll do, I'll say okay. Then you can see this high frequency layer, right? So what I'll do, I duplicate it. You can see our photo looks extremely sharp. After create a layer mask, Ctrl I to invert to hide the sharpness. Now then you want to refill through our white mask, so just pick the brush, opacity 100, 400, then just paint the eyes. Want to refill it on the most prominent areas of the photo, like the eyes. Just reduce the opacity again a little bit. I mean, let's reduce the opacity, not a bit, but reduce the opacity, because we don't want the photo to look like it's cracking. Just like this, and then paint some parts of them still like this, like that. Zoom this on the legs, yeah, like that. Yes, like that. Okay, this just looking awesome. So the next thing I'll do, I'll paint on the face, and I'll reduce the opacity once more, because I don't want the face to look like it's cracking or something. And you can see our photo has some good texture on the skin. So yeah, I think we did good from shooting, from editing the photo, and reduce this to something like this opacity a bit. And boom, yeah, we have a very full edited, well edited photo, guys. So see you in the next tutorial. Thank you so much. It's been a very, very long tutorial of doing so much in the photo, and we have a very well good looking photo. I like the skin tone of the model, I like everything. And yeah, see you in the next one, man. See you in the next tutorial on how we uploaded this photo on Facebook, on YouTube, on everywhere.